Yes guys, it's Jando. Today we're going to be looking at how to make a crazy jump up slash roller style track. The reason I say jump up slash roller is because it's got rollery drums but jump up kind of synths and a few like kind of rollery like foghorn kind of synths. But yeah, crazy tune that I've been like, it's an old project but I'm going to get this finished up. Crazy tune, one of my favorites that I've started. I just really need to finish this. But yeah, let's jump straight into what I've done in the track, and yeah, let's give the track a listen first. So yeah, that's the track. Let's dive straight into what I've done. Yes guys, just before we jump into the video, if you're interested in copying preset packs, sample packs, mix and mastering services and a bunch of other stuff, head over to our website jumpup.dnb.com. I've got all of my stuff on there now that I finally launched it. We've got the shop, which includes all of the preset packs, sample packs, and it's also got mix and mastering services here. If you head over to the services tab, it will give you more information about the mix and mastering services, as well as what you need to do if you are going to buy them. Soon I'll put up all of my dub packs. My DnB masterclass will be up there very soon as well, with a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, go over to jumpup.dnb.com, check out all of the content, and nice one. So obviously this track is a work in progress, but I'm going to show you what I've done so far to hopefully help you get started in the tracks that you're making. If you're struggling to get tracks started and whatever. But yeah, I'm just going to run through what I've done so far with the track. And that is obviously drums, bass, and some vocals, which is a really good kind of foundation and bass line to where you can really progress with the track and kind of get a feel for the track. And like I said, it's going to help progress a tune more when you've got like a solid foundation down like this. So to start off with the drums, we're going to dive into what I've done drum pattern wise. So we've got a bunch of individual hits here. So obviously we've got our kicks, and then we've got snares. Yeah, pretty basic on that part. But then let's dive into the like percussion and the tops. So in this one, got this snare that's keeping the flow of the track is a bit skippy, and then you combine that with the other snare, the other hats. Very steppy. Gives a nice flow to it, makes the tune like skip a little bit. So yeah, we've got obviously that hat I've just shown you, then we've got this open hat that's playing every half bar. That definitely gives like a TI style vibe with his like open hats. We've got this hat that hits on every snare, which gives the snare a nice tone actually. And then we've got this kind of softer hat. And then we've got this ride that I've changed the transients on. So originally we've pulled the transients down to 35 there. Keeps the track flowing nicely, and then we've got this percussion shaker, and then this is what really makes the drums like fast paced, rollery. Yeah, very thumpy drums to start off with, which is perfect because the harder your drums are hitting, the harder the track's hitting. And to be fair, as long as you've got basses that can kind of match that energy, then yeah, you've got like a definitely a very solid foundation to the track. And then we've got some parallel compression here. So if I just solo with this, yeah, this parallel compression is really open and it's like quite noisy and messy. And then we're just layering that compression on top of the drums that we've got currently, which beefs them out, fills them up a bit more, makes them punch through a bit harder. But yeah, that's what I've got going on with the drums. And then for the basses, I'll run through some of the patches really quick. But the main thing that's keeping the flow of this track the most is these 808s that are kind of hitting like slightly off beat. So if I mute everything else, Yeah, and then we'll put these back in and take the 808s out, and then we can just hear the difference in flow. They definitely help the flow of the track massively. And yeah, I'll dive into these 808s in a minute because I haven't really touched on 808s too much in any of my tutorials. So yeah, I'll show you a new plugin in a minute that I use for my 808s. But regarding the stab basses, so we've got harmonic series and basic shape. So basically sine waves on both, but obviously harmonic series we're squashing and syncing those sine waves at -2 decibels. We've got -2 on the sub. And yeah, so we've got it modulating on the level of the sub oscillator and oscillator A at 75%. Got the FM from B on at 47, the cutoff at 1459, res at 10, and then yeah, we've got oscillator A selected, the noise oscillator selected, and then we've got the key track select, filter key track selected. Wow. Then we're working with this shape here. There's a little down, little stabby down. And then that's on PHS 48 Plus as well, one of my favorite filters. And then for the FX, we've got hyperdimension, so we just turn the rate all the way down, detune's left the same, and then the mixer's at 20%, adds a little bit of like dimension to it really, so it's just a bit of like stereo width. Then we've got stomp box on at 75%, got the compressor on with the multiband on at 100, 100, 100, and then we've pushed the gain a little bit to gain stage and compress. Then we've got the combs filter, which is another filter that adds like a lot of grit to basses. If I take it off, you might be able to notice a difference. Pretty big difference. We've got the cutoff there at 25 Hertz, drive at 29, and the res at 0. That gives a really nice stabby tone. Definitely kind of like Ben Snow's style. He was making a lot of stabs like that a long time ago. But yeah, so then we've got decapitator, fab filter, another fab filter. I don't know why I've got 2 on there, but it works, so we'll roll with it. So yeah, those are the settings for all of them. Pause the video if you want to have a look at them, and then we're glue compressing, and then we've got an EQ on there just to roll off the low ends for that sub underneath. And then the keys of these is D sharp and D2. And then we've got, after that, we've got this little horn thing. So this is why I said it's kind of rollery. Obviously, the drums are very rollery. And there's quite a bit going on with this patch, to be honest. So dive into this. So we've got 2 sine waves plus 2 octave, plus on the octaves, FM from B at 40%, and then we're automating the, modulating the LFO levels of sub oscillator and oscillator A. Oscillator A is at 100. Oscillator B is at 75%, and then we've gone with this triangle wave on the sub, and -1 decibels. Then for obviously for oscillator B, we've got the level all the way down, random all the way down on both of them as well. And then for the filter, we've got the combs filter at 3987 Hertz, the res at 54, the drive at 0, but then we're modulating that to 13, and then we've also got LFO2 on here, so make sure you copy in the settings down here as well. Modulating the level of oscillator A at 25. That 25. And then we've got all of the modes selected here. I mean, we don't need them all selected, but they're all selected. Then we've got the same post-processing in the FX tab. Only difference is we've got different. Oh, it's not quite the same. So we've got the same FX plugins, but different settings. So we've got 9% on the mix for the hyper, 10% on the drive, got 86, 144, and 151. And then for PHS 48 Plus, on the filter, we've got cut off of 200 Hertz, res of 45 Hertz. Yeah, that's the patch. And then obviously, like I said, we've got a lot going on. We've got some stuff going on with automation. So let's just these down, open up. So it's just our pitch bend actually that we're automating. No, it's not. It's the filter free kit as well. So if I remember, and so yeah, we're automating the cutoff here. So if we just serum back up, so the cutoff here on the combs filter, this starts at 3987, and then obviously we're coming down, so 0.62 down to 0.1. Again, and it comes back up, and then we've got the filter freak here, which is, I believe this is the cutoff of the PHS48 Plus as well. So obviously you have the original one of 200 Hertz, and again, yeah, that's starting at 0.43 and then it's 0.34, and then this is pitch bend here. So the pitch bend is at 2, -2, and it's starting at 0.95 and coming down to 0.60, and that's given that proper gritty sound. Yeah, super sick bass. I'm really happy with this bass. And then yeah, after that we just got a plain sub playing underneath. So I don't really need to dive into that patch, but the 808s is what I did want to dive into the most, because it's a plugin that I don't think I've shown on here before, which is Sublab. Get some super sick 808s out of this. Yeah, definitely worth downloading. And I mean, a lot of the stuff, just like kind of pick a patch in here and then start messing around. I'll just duplicate this and we'll just mess around with the patch here. So loads of filters that you can do. Yeah, tones on this one are crazy nice. So yeah, there's some super sick 808s on that. It's a really sick plugin to look into. So yeah, Sublab, and then I'm just compressing it. So sidechain compression to the kick, saturating a little bit just to add a bit of grit. Then I do also have this noise underneath, which I've done with an erosion, and then I've like whacked up the saturation on it, which I haven't put on for this track. I did use it in a track underneath an 808. I think the track was called War Dub, or War Dub Plate or something like that, and I put this 808 kind of noise filter underneath it. Sounds super sick. But yeah, it works better without that on this track, so that's what I did. But yeah, that's the track so far. We've also got this respace and a resub. So for the respace, yeah, this is the patch that we're using. So 2 thingy waves, I can't even think what they're called right now, triangle waves, or saw waves, sorry. And then we've got the level at 75% each, both. Got a combs filter on here, so we have 556 Hertz, 67 on the res, drive is 26. We've got the sub on 75% at 0 octaves on a sine wave. And this is the post processing, so we've got the mix at 43% on the hyper, and then 78% on the drive for stomp box distortion, gain at about 10 dB. And then at our post, we've got a bit of capitator here, bit of reverb for the stereo width, saturating, and then obviously EQing as well. And then for these 808 sub, it's the Reese sub. It's a little bit different because Reese's tend to have this kind of natural low mids that you want to keep in, and you don't want to cut off too many of it. So what I tend to do with my Reese's is I don't cut off as much on the low end, I only cut off like a little bit, and then with the sub bass I also cut off a little bit of that, so there's not too much frequency clashing going on, and then the tones kind of mix together nicely. I'm struggling to explain it, but you probably understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so structure wise, we've got, obviously there's not too much to dive into with the structure. It's where we've gone for the the foghorn into the stab, and then the main thing for me with structure wise with the structure of these 808s, having them slightly offbeat adds that like steppiness and skippiness, which is super cool, and really drives the style of the tune. And then we've just got this little vocal sample. We've just we've done a little build up on it, so, and then that hits super hard. I absolutely love this tune, and I really need to finish it. But But yeah, that's it for that tune. That's how you kind of start off like a jump uppy roller kind of track. I hope this helped. And if you've got any other video ideas, make sure to drop them down in the comments. Also drop a like. Let's see if we can get to like 100 likes. Liking videos is really helpful for the algorithm. So if you can drop a like down, that's greatly appreciated. And make sure you subscribe as well. And for any patches like this, I'm going to chuck some of these patches up on my Patreon, but if you want to get more similar patches in actual packs, like sample packs and preset packs, head over to jandodnb.com, go check that out. But yeah, nice one.